Hello everyone and welcome to Shifting Gears. This is the Maruti Suzuki Victoris and prices start at rupees 10.5 lakh ex-showroom. So the Victoris is a 5-seater SUV. It is not a 6-seater or a 7-seater product. This is going to be sold via the Maruti Suzuki Arena showrooms and not via the Nexa showrooms. Now in this video we will speak about the interior cabin of this car and I will tell you if at all it feels premium or not, what are the features that you get, how well is it packaged, and is it genuinely spacious for your family car requirements or not. We will find that out in this video. We have multiple other videos which we have uploaded. One where we speak about the exterior design of this Victoris. One where we speak about the off-road capabilities of this Victoris with the all-grip, all-wheel drive hardware. Then we have a detailed drive review video of this all-grip, all-wheel drive as well. And then we also have another detailed drive review video of the strong hybrid variant of this Victoris. So we have all the important content about this Victoris so that you can make an informed car buying decision before you spend your hard-earned money. Now we will start this video with the boot space, and this is the all grip variant. Check this out. One touch of a button and the boot will lift up by itself. You don't have to put in any kind of effort. Just have a look at this. We have placed a lot of luggage over here. So this is a trolley backpack. I will lift it and keep it down. Then we have a large cabin sized trolley bag 1, trolley bag 2, then there is one office bag over here, again large sized, and then we have another trolley bag over here. 3 trolley bags, 1 trolley backpack, 1 office bag, and there was still more space to carry extra oddities over here. Just have a look at this. There is a storage bin area over here where you can keep some extra oddities. A very nicely recessed storage bin so things will not be moving around too much. You have a luggage hook over here as well, so that is convenient. And then on this side you will notice that you have a cabin lamp which you can manually switch it off as well. You have a charging port over here, and then you have a subwoofer with this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. But what is really interesting is that below this boot floor you have some storage space. So check this out. A very usable storage bin area over here, and once you lock it in place, this boot floor will stay like this, so that is also convenient. What I want to highlight is that, check this out, you can actually park a trolley bag over here, and not just one but 2 trolley bags can actually fit in this recessed area. Now of course you have noticed that there is no spare wheel which is offered to you with this car. All the tools necessary, you have them very neatly tucked in over here. But here is the interesting part. Check this out. This boot floor will close flat. So it is not raised, or it is not that it is not locked in place properly. 2 trolley bags below the boot floor, and then you have this entire boot space area too. So isn't this practical? Isn't this brilliant in terms of space packaging? Also you have this rear seat back for the second row which offers you a 60-40 split, so you can carry more luggage over here. Then you have this parcel tray which you can remove if you want to carry taller bags over here in the boot of this Victoris. So this is very spacious. This is very convenient. When I am picking up these bags and keeping them inside, what I want you to notice is that The boot floor is nice and flat. There is no too high of a loading lip, so you can very easily just arrange the luggage and not put in too much of an effort. This is really good. This is brilliant packaging in terms of boot space that Maruti Suzuki is offering with this Victoris. And then one touch of a button over here to close this boot, to close this tailgate, and it is power assisted, so you don't have to put in any kind of effort. Now my height is 5 feet 8 inches, I weigh 80 kg. We are going to speak about ingress and egress. This is how wide the doors open of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. Not opening fully 90 degrees like a few Tata cars, but not really a concern or a problem. For me to hop in the driver's seat, check this out. Not difficult at all. This is an all-wheel drive SUV, but it is still a monocoque SUV, not a body on ladder construction, so it is not too high up. It is very easy to get in and out of this car. If you have elderly family members who still drive, even they can come up close to the car very easily, rest their hands or get some support, then sit on the seat and then get their feet inside, and it is absolutely convenient. It is not at all difficult. It is as easy a car to get in and out, even for the elderly who need some kind of support to get in and out. So a rather practical ingress and egress in the front cabin at least. Speaking about the rear cabin, check this out. This is how wide the door opens. This is the opening area to move your feet for the access to the back seat, and when I'm trying to get in, not bad at all, isn't it? So check this out. If I have to get out, I can very easily get my foot out, and it is as effortless as a vehicle should be. Now let me very quickly jump inside and tell you everything about the features on the inside. Firstly, when I am in the vehicle in this all grip automatic variant of this Victoris, check this out. It looks rather good for a Maruti Suzuki. This is completely new territory. This is unlike any other Maruti Suzuki product which we have seen on sale here in the Indian market, and this feels fresh, this feels new, and it does feel premium on the inside. Just have a look at the dashboard. You have a nice layered pattern to it. So this is hard plastic. Here you have soft touch material on this dashboard mid pad. Then you have this 3D textured panel over here as well. Looks quite nice, and you have ambient lights embedded over here which add a nice drama to your drives, especially at night. You have this contrast stitching over here as well. It is a very mild contrast, but it looks quite nice. And then lower down you again have that black dark hard plastic. Overall it looks quite nice. The dashboard with this layered setup, it breaks the monotony, it looks sporty, and it is very different. There is no other Maruti Suzuki which looks like this in the Arena showrooms or even in the Nexa showrooms. This is brand new in terms of visual appearance, and thumbs up from my side for sure. Now have a look at this steering wheel. A round steering wheel, no flat bottom or flat top, no 2-spoke or conventional 3-spoke steering wheel. Over here you have some gloss black accents and some satin silver finish. You have the Suzuki logo, and this is how the horn sounds. Accessing the horn, not difficult at all. All the controls that you see over here, they are reasonable in terms of the button size, so you can operate them very easily and effortlessly when you are on the go. On the right hand side you have your controls for your cruise control and ADAS functionality. On the left hand side you have controls for your infotainment and to control all of the features that you get with this vehicle, and also to control the speedometer cluster, the MID. Now that is one other major highlight in this Victoris, this brand new full digital speedometer cluster, which I really like. So check this out. This is the new speedometer cluster in the Victoris, and I think it is a rather nice looking unit. So on the left you can see you have your fuel efficiency information, you have your trip information, and then over here you have historical fuel economy data, you have driving time, idle start stop time, your SHVS display, and then route guidance if maps have been activated, any errors or warning messages, and then you can go to settings and adjust the brightness and all of those things. In driving assistance, for the ADAS, the features, you can activate them or deactivate them. This is the head-up display setting over here. This is the information that you can see in the head-up display, so it's quite a lot. And you can go to vehicle settings, and then there is other set of options, and then you have to see this customize screen, so you can actually change the layout. So this was classic, and now this is standard. I really like this standard theme, and it looks quite nice, doesn't it? It looks very nice and modern. Let us go back to customize screen, and over here you can select the items which need to be displayed in either of those screen layouts. And over here, have a look at this. You can have a clock, you can have media, or you can have tachometer. Very nice, isn't it? So you get that custom option to decide what you want to see over here in terms of the driver's cockpit, and everything is quite nice over here. It is very good looking, and right now it is a rather hot and sunny day here in Jaipur, but still, even under the top sun, consuming this information is no problem. I'm wearing polarized glasses, sunglasses, but I can still see all of this information very easily, so no problems with that. Now this is the head-up display. I hope you can see that, and check this out. There is a lot of information that is shown to you over there. In fact, even air conditioning information is shown to you over there, if you increase or decrease the temperature, and even if you increase or decrease the fan speed. Now that is quite interesting. And then you have other information such as the selected gear, your speed, your ADAS related information, and then your set cruise control speed, etc. So all of that is quite nice in terms of the information that is shown to you. And now I don't know how clear this is for you, but I'm trying my best because it is rather hot and sunny. And if you don't want this head-up display, you can close it if you think that it is distracting, and it will fold and go away very neatly. Now to open or close that head-up display, you have the button over here. You have a set of controls over here. This is to adjust the head-up display and the brightness settings and all of that. This is your engine start stop button. And then lower down you have multiple other controls, because this is the all grip variant of this Victoris. ADAS functionality also over here, your system settings for traction control, etc., for ESP traction control. And then this is your 360-degree camera view quick access button. This is your headlamp leveler. This is for idle start stop function. This is to deactivate the powered door for the tailgate. And then there are all of these buttons which can be very easily activated or deactivated as per your requirements. The buttons have a good size, so you won't be accidentally pressing something else. Lower down you will notice you have the bonnet opening lever and the fuel filler cap opening lever over here. And then this is your standard set of control, typical of Maruti Suzuki. Mirror controls, lock unlock, power window lock, and your window controls. Only the driver door is auto up and auto down. Still, even in 2025, everything should be auto up and auto down. Some textured panel over here, gloss black, chrome finish for your door opening lever, a tweeter over here, and then this is your AC vent, which you can fully deactivate if you are feeling too cold. On the steering wheel you will notice you have paddle shifters, and these paddle shifters are very conveniently placed. They are of the right size, so you can play around with the engine and gearbox, taking better control. This is your control stalk for your automatic headlamp and turn indicators, and this side you have your control stalk for your wipers. Everything else self-explanatory. And I think from the driver's point of view, you are getting all that you need from a modern car in this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. Now the steering column, it has tilt and telescopic adjustment, so you can very easily find your desired driving position, and it is very easy to make all of those changes. You get an electrochromic rear view mirror, very nice looking but not frameless. You have a sunglass holder over here, a rather plasticky unit. You have cabin lamps but not LED type, yellow bulb. This is the SOS button. This is for your sunroof, this controller over here. And then you have both these sun visors with a mirror and with a lamp. So the driver also gets a mirror and a lamp. The front passenger also gets a mirror and a lamp. And as you can see, not LED lamps, yellow bulb setup only. Now have a look at this sunroof, a dual pane panoramic sunroof. Let me first close it. This is how fast this sunshade is going to retract. Now is this fast or slow? That is up to you to decide. Now let us open it up. One touch. Keep looking at it. First it will fully retract, and now it is opening up. And check this out. So even though you thought that it was too small a sunroof, both the glasses, the front glass and the rear glass, both of them have moved. Let me demonstrate that to you one more time. So check this out. First the rear glass locks in place, and then the front glass locks in place. Check this out one more time. First the front glass is moving up, then the rear glass has moved down, and then the entire mechanism has retracted. It goes even further, and this is really nice, isn't it? It gives you an almost convertible like feel, and I think this big an opening space on the roof, thanks to this dual pane panoramic sunroof, it is quite good and it looks quite nice, doesn't it? What is your opinion about this panoramic sunroof? You let us know in the comments below, because I definitely like it and I think it has been very well integrated. Now have a look over here on this infotainment screen. A very nice and crisp looking touchscreen infotainment. You get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it is very nice and fluid in terms of the UI UX. Over here you can also view your climate control settings, and then you have Dolby Atmos in this vehicle, so you're going to get really good sound output. You get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and Amazon Alexa, and you will notice that you also have...
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa is always going to interrupt. Again.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Sorry, I don't want you to do anything. But then you can notice you have other apps which you can download, and you have theater on wheels also. And this infotainment, it just has a lot to offer to keep you entertained on the go, isn't it? Check this out. Very fluid in terms of accepting your input, and here is your 360-degree camera support. So this is the view from the inner side, and then if you want an exterior view, check this out. I wish that the color of the vehicle that you have, that should have been depicted over here, but nevertheless a good display, and you can't move it right now, but all of this can be done. And you can also go to settings and then select what kind of display you want, what kind of information you want, what is the default screen that you want to be set with that 360 view camera. But overall this display has worked very well, and when we were off-roading with this Victoris all grip, that camera feed was very critical to ensure that we drive safely and the wheels are placed right where they should be. So I really like this touchscreen infotainment, and I tried to connect my Android phone, I tried to connect my Apple iPhone, and it just integrated seamlessly both the times with both the operating softwares. So no complaints with that. You also have Suzuki navigation over here, by the way. So if you want to use that, you can do that and rely on the brand's information that is being shared. Now, this is an automatic climate control panel. Okay, check this out. This is your climate control over here. But here you do not have the auto button. At least I have not seen it. This rotary thing over here, this is your volume rocker for your infotainment, and you can push it to mute this system. But for automatic climate control settings, there is no auto button over here, but the button is over here. So you have to press this button over here to activate automatic climate control. And it's not too much of a problem, but it is just that it could have been better if it was placed over here. But I think there is no space that is available in this particular small unit. But I really like that at least you have physical buttons and not those fully integrated AC units with the touchscreen infotainment. And also I'm glad that there is no feather touch over here. So this is rather easy to control. These AC vents, I think they are a bit too small. I mean, they should have been larger for the size of the vehicle, because the airflow, it is not really optimal, but the AC performance is really not that bad. But it is just that I find the vents to be a bit too small for the size of the vehicle. Then you will notice over here you have some gloss black, some satin silver finish, the same gloss black around this, infotainment head unit. The gloss black continues over here as well, and onto that AC vent at the extreme end. Very nicely done. And even this AC control panel has a nice gloss black unit. It pops out quite nicely, looks rather sporty. Then lower down you have a wireless charging pad. So check this out. This is my phone and it fits in place very well. But next is this storage bin over here, where you cannot keep a phone, a large phone. So you'll have to keep it this way. Of course, you can still select park and you can still place your phone over there, but it is just that it should have been wide enough to accommodate a proper modern day large smartphone. Nevertheless, have a look at this. You have two Type-C charging points, and you also have a 12-volt power socket offered to you over there. Hard plastic, no soft touch material over here. Now have a look at this gear stick. A short gear stick, not too big, very plasticky to touch. Looks okay, but I think it should have been more premium for a car which can cost well over 20 lakh rupees on road. This head of the gear stick, it could have looked and felt a bit better. That is my opinion. You can notice that you have PRNDM, but no gear shift functionality in manual mode making use of this gear stick. For that you have to rely on the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Overall, it does the job, this gear stick, and it doesn't feel too flimsy. It is just that it doesn't feel very good or premium to touch. Honest opinion. Then over here, have a look at this control. This is for your all grip. So check this out. This is auto mode. Twist it to the right for sport, twist it to the left for snow, and only when you are in snow mode can you use lock mode. When you use the lock mode, the power delivery is going to be split 50-50 between the front and rear wheels. There is no low range transfer case with this Maruti Suzuki all grip Victoris, so that is something that you have to keep in mind. This cannot do rock crawling or slush crawling. This is for a go anywhere SUV kind of a setup, and this can easily tackle trails. All of this can be done shift on fly, except for lock mode, where the vehicle speed has to be a bit lower and slower. And on the go, if you are in lock mode and then you start to pick up pace, this will get deactivated at close to 65 kilometers per hour. So that is also a bit of information which I don't think many will share with you. Here then you will notice you have the electric park brake, you have auto hold functionality as well, and then you have two cup holders lower down over here on this tunnel console. So bottle holders over here, or cup holders, whatever you would like to call it. Controls for your seat ventilation, 3 levels of seat ventilation, but on level 3 the white noise is rather too loud, so I like to keep it at level 1. A small cubby hole over here, maybe you can keep some change over here. but that's pretty much it over here on this center console and tunnel console area. Have a look at the glove box. It is quite large. This is a proper full-sized first aid box for your vehicle, and it fits in quite nicely, and there is still some space to carry some extra oddities over here, and this is reasonably sized in terms of what a glove box should be. So overall, from the driver's point of view, everything looks quite nice. Everything is at the ideal spot in terms of ergonomics, and all the features have worked every time we wanted to do something with it. So nothing failed or nothing took too much time or was laggy. Spot on in terms of offering what the customer needs and desires. Now first have a look at the driver's seat control. Electric adjustment, and it is quite easy and convenient to set the driving seat to your desired driving style. Also, there is no memory function that is available to you, so you will have to make these changes every time someone else is sharing the vehicle with you. In the footwell area, as you can notice, we have a 2-pedal drive. This is the automatic variant, the all grip. There is a reasonably sized dead pedal. I wear a shoe size 9, and the pedal placement is nice. It is spacious enough, so it is not a cluttered or too tight of a space for your feet. This is comfortable and convenient, and this is how you will be seated. This is the amount of headroom that is available. I'm 5 feet 8 inches in height. I'm seated at the lowest seat setting, and this is no problem at all. For me, from my point of view, I can very clearly see the bonnet of this vehicle, and I can also see the rear end of the vehicle thanks to those large, reasonably sized rear view mirrors. Also, this inside rear view mirror is good enough, and it shows me a good amount of information of what is behind me, so I can drive this car safely. So in terms of driver positioning and driver cockpit, everything is as ideal as it should be. On the driver door, I already showed you this particular section, gloss black, but here you have soft touch material, so that light leatherette kind of a material with some very mild contrast stitching, bottle holder and some storage bin area over here. And then Infinity by Harman, you have premium sound system with this Maruti Suzuki Victoris, so that is going to keep you entertained, especially on your long drives. Next, what you should make note of is this armrest, which slides forward and backward, and there is also a storage bin area below this, and it is a reasonably sized storage bin. So check this out, these two goodie bags I can very easily stuff over here. So maybe you can keep some chocolates for your kids over here, and they can be well under your control if your arm is going to be rested over here. So you can play around with your kids and then ensure that they have to win it, and then you give it to them, and they're nice and secure. Nothing is going to be moving around too much over here. This armrest has a nice soft touch material, and it is going to give you good support. Now, is this black or blue? I can't really tell, but it does look like a dark shade. So it looks like black, and it has that same dark stitching, so there is no contrast over here. But if your eyes can tell if this is blue or navy blue or whatever, you let us know in the comments below. Have a look at this seat. A nice mix of leatherette and fabric, but I do not like this fabric. This is going to get dirty in your ownership, and then when this leather and leatherette, this looks nice and clean. Every time you go to a detailing shop, this is going to get darker and darker, and this will need a lot of maintenance. It should have been a full leatherette seat cover. Now, is this for aesthetics or is this for cost cutting? Only Maruti Suzuki can tell, but a fabric, light colored fabric, is not at all my preference, especially in an SUV which can go off-roading. This is going to be a problem in terms of maintenance. Have a look at the seat. Good side bolstering, so this is going to give you nice support. You can notice the headrest, nice and large. Again, dual tone contrast colors over here as well. And just have a look at me seated on this seat. So good side bolstering. So if I'm driving nice and hard and fast through winding roads, I'm going to get good support, good lateral support thanks to this seat, and I'm going to be kept in place. So I think it is doing a fine job in terms of visual appearance, support, but it is just that this is going to get dirty. In terms of thigh support, it's also okay, and even though I'm seated at the lowest seat setting, it is not bad. But if I get the seat higher up, and then when I sit over here, then maybe thigh support increases a bit. But it is just my preference that I like to sit at the lowest possible seat setting. It is just my style of driving any vehicle, and looks like a good place to be, isn't it? Now, behind my own driving seat position, check this out. This is the amount of knee room that is available. Very good foot room that is available, even with the seat, this driver seat at its lowest setting, so I can stretch my feet under this seat. Then I have decent thigh support. As you can notice, my thighs are completely rested over here, and this looks and feels quite nice. I also have an adjustable headrest, which is offering me good support, and this will also protect me from whiplash injury, so this is also quite nice. This is the amount of headroom that is available over here for me and my height of 5 feet 8 inches. So if you are 6 feet tall, maybe this is going to be a bit too tight for you, but then it is what it is. You can't really do anything about it. The sunroof, as you can notice, it doesn't extend all the way up above my head, so especially in the back seat, you will not really feel the heat on your head if it is a hot sunny day, and if you like to have the sunroof sunshade retracted. So this is actually going to be better. And then when I'm seated over here, the windowsill is below my shoulder height, well below my shoulder height, so there is a good sense of light that is coming inside. It doesn't feel claustrophobic at all. And the overall color scheme, this dual tone light beige or greige and black, it looks quite nice. It doesn't feel too boring on the inside, and it does feel nice and spacious. The roof liner is also on the lighter side of the shade scale. You have retractable grab handles along with a coat hook, and you have a cabin lamp over here as well. You should have had a retractable sunshade in this car, but then it is not available. Over here on the door pad, just the door opening lever, and you have that soft touch material and a power window switch. The AC vent is over here. 2 AC vents to direct airflow to either ends, and you can switch it off if you feel like. Very plasticky to touch, very basic plastic. And then lower down you have 2 Type-C charging points, and then you have a storage point for your smartphone over here below this Type-C charging point area. So nice and convenient. Behind both the front seats, you have a seat back pocket, so this is also practical, so you can store some knickknacks or magazines or newspapers. And this is how the rear cabin looks. You have an adjustable headrest even for the third passenger, and check this out, you have an armrest with 2 cup holders. The seat bench, nice and wide. It extends all the way, and there is not too much of bolstering here on the seat bench. Now you've seen how spacious this cabin is for me behind my own height and my driving style. If I sit over here as the third passenger, the seat bench is not elevated by a huge margin, but it is well cushioned, so once you sit on it, it does sag enough. This is the amount of headroom that is available as the 5th passenger, and this headrest, this is also ideal, so it is offering me support and comfort. But my legs, they will have to be spread apart because there is a prominent transmission hump over here in the back seat. So I would either have to sit this way if I have healthy adults on either side of me, but then this AC vent is going to make things uncomfortable if I'm seated over here, because otherwise everything over here is going to be really cold. You can of course switch that off, but this is the other option of being seated over here by having your legs spread apart on either side of that transmission hump. But it is not bad. Check this out. Even when I'm seated over here, my knee is not touching the front seat, so there is reasonable space for a short city commute, or maybe using this car for carpooling. But if you are buying this Maruti Suzuki Victoris, and if you are going to make use of this car as a chauffeur driven vehicle, this seat is pushed all the way forward. And now I'm going to also adjust the seat back angle. So this is all the way forward. This is the maximum amount of leg room that you are going to get and knee room that you are going to get. You can sit cross-legged as well, and this is the kind of space that is available. But have a look at this bin over here. This is, I guess, for that SHVS tech, and the lithium ion battery could be here underneath, and this is eating up your foot room area. So there is this thing protruding out, so you'll have to sit like this. But nevertheless, when I'm seated over here, I am getting decent thigh support, and headroom is also ideal, and there is reasonable comfort. This seat back angle, by the way, there is no adjustment, so one and only locking position, nothing that it moves even further or comes forward. So only one locking position for seat back angle. So this is what it is. This is the maximum space that you get in the back seat. So is this looking like a comfortable car for your chauffeur driven car requirements? You let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Next, have a look at the door pad. You have a bottle holder over here, some extra storage bin area over here, and like I showed you on the other side, textured panel and gloss black finish over here, hard plastic, soft touch material, hard plastic, and this window, it doesn't go all the way, so it stays out this much. So this is something that you will have to make peace with, and if you have OCD, don't look at it. The Infinity by Harman branding for the speakers is also here on the rear door, and then you will notice this rear quarter glass. This is also going to allow for some extra light inside the cabin. And also have a look at the parcel tray area over here. It is nicely recessed, so things are going to be in place. They will not be falling around, falling off. And this headrest, all three of them are adjustable, so now they are at the lowest locking point. We have our camera, which has been very happily parked over here throughout our review drive. And then you will see this seat belt mounting over here. This car, this Victoris, comes with 3-point seat belts for all occupants. So this is a rather welcome feature, and we really like this. Of course, you have ISOFIX mounts, 2 ISOFIX mounts in the rear seat for your child seat, so that is also very useful. And the same textured finish over here on the seat, even in the back seat, and I absolutely dislike it. So what is your opinion about the interior cabin of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. It is spacious, it is practical, it has all the modern features and tech that you expect from a car in 2025. But does it feel premium enough to you? Do you think this is better than the Creta and Seltos? Let us know. If you have any other queries, ask us, and we will try our best to help you out in the comment section below. Till next time, subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel, press that bell icon, always drive safe, and always wear your seat belts, even in the back seat.